Hi everyone, it's Joy with Well with Joy. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to show you how to make bone broth. Bone broth is something I've made for myself for almost 3 years now. And it's something because I started eating a ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting. It's something that fits very well with that kind of eating. It's just so healthy for you. It's full of protein, amino acids, and the big buzzword that everybody's talking about is collagen. It's full of collagen. And so it's good for your skin, it's good for your hair, it's good for your nails, and it also helps with inflammation and the building blocks of your body. So it's very good for you. And it's so easy to make, and it costs hardly anything to make. And I like to call it like a liquid gold because it is just so good for you. So what I do before I even start is I go and I get my bones from the freezer. And what this is I take the carcass, the bones from chicken or turkey usually when we have it. After everybody's eaten what they want for the meat, I take the leftovers, the bone, the skin, the fat, the gristle, whatever's left over, and I put in these freezer bags. So I can collect maybe two to three bags of bones, and then I put them in to make the bone broth. It's something that my husband and my boys, they don't even want to hear the word bone broth. I guess they just don't like the sound of it. So I try to make it when they're not home. And I make it now in the Instapot. I used to make it on the stove and the smell just drove them crazy. They couldn't stand it. So I now do it in the Instapot, and I don't have any smell or anything like that. And it's really quick. It's like 2 hours. Before I was boiling bones on the stove for hours and hours. So this makes it easier. So I'm going to show you exactly what I do, how simple it is. And then after it's done, I'll show you what the finished product looks like. Okay, so I've got 2 bags of bones, and I'll put in these bones. And I actually did warm them up in the microwave a little bit so that they would be easier to squish down to put the other stuff in. So I have the bones in there. And as you can see, there's bones, there's fat, there's skin, there's all that stuff. The next thing is I'm going to put in carrots, and all I have is baby carrots. I like to use like fresher carrots and put all the greens and everything into it because that's just more nutrients, and you can do that. You can just throw whatever you want. 2 things of celery, and you don't have to cut it small. You just cut it so it fits in to the Instapot. So you put it in there, and this Instapot I believe is the 8-quart, the biggest one. Then you take some onions. And I like to leave the skin on it again because the nutrients and a lot of things are gathered in the skin. I do wash them first to get anything that might be on there off. And then I just throw that in there. So that's all that goes in. I'm going to add some oregano. I started adding oregano to this, and I really like the flavor that oregano gives. Some black pepper, some sea salt. I also like to put in garlic, just some minced garlic, and you can put what you think. I don't mind the garlic taste, so put in a teaspoon. And then this is one of the important ingredients that you have to put in is apple cider vinegar. And you want the apple cider vinegar that has the mother in it. See, it says with the mother. So you add that. And I put 2 tablespoons of that in. So you shake that up good and use that. That's what you use for that. And what the vinegar does is it helps to break down the bones and really draw out the collagen and everything in it so that you're getting it in your broth. Next, I'm going to add water. And you add the water until it just covers everything in your pot. So I've finished filling it. As you can see, the water level's up to the top of the food there. So here it is. Here it is. It's got all the stuff in it, and it's covered over. And you can add whatever vegetables you want to add, but that's what I added. So I put the cover on, and I have to set it. So I go over here to pressure cook, and it's already high for 120 minutes, which is 2 hours. And it'll take about 2 hours and it will be done. So that's how you start it. When it's done, I will show you the finished product. But the thing is remember, you can use any vegetable you want and save your leaves and the stems and everything, every part of your vegetable, because there's a lot of nutrients in those that will go right into your bone broth. So you can use that, and meat, use it all. Make sure you freeze it, and yeah, so it will be good. And I can't wait to have a cup of it, because it is not a nice day. It's rainy and cool. But as you can hear, I have my coffee going, so I'll have a cup of hot coffee in the meantime, and I'll show you when this is done. So the bone broth has finished, and I've let out the steam. I let it sit for a while, so there wasn't much steam. We'll open it up, and there it is. There's all that great bone broth. And then I'll be putting it into these jars so that I can keep it in the freezer or in the refrigerator. I'll keep some in the refrigerator so I can have it for a few days. If you keep it in the refrigerator, it only lasts about 5 days in there. So guys, thanks for hanging with me to make this bone broth. It's done, and so I will let it cool. And once it's cooled, I'm going to strain out all those vegetables. All the solid pieces, I got to get out of there and just throw those away. And then I will put it into the jars for going into the fridge. But the first thing is, when you put it in the jars, you let it sit there. And as it sits, the fat in there will settle to the top. So you want to make sure that you get all that fat off. As it sits, clean that fat off. Throw that away, discard that. Then put covers on the jars. And put them, once it's cooled, and put them in the fridge. And what it's going to do is, how you know it's good and it's perfect is it'll gel up. The first couple batches I made did not gel up. They were still liquid. And what was the problem was I wasn't using enough bones. So I started doing 2 to 3 chicken carcasses, their bones and stuff. And then it would gel up perfectly. So that's what I do. And this will probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quart jars. This will probably give me the full 6 jars, which is nice. And I'll put some in the fridge, so I'll have some for the next 5 days or so, because that's how long it will last in the refrigerator. And the rest I'll put in the freezer. You can also use gallon freezer bags and put it in the freezer that way. That way you can divide it up and it's ready to go if you're going to make a chicken stew or any other recipe that you would like to add it to. So yeah, it's really simple. If you have any questions, please drop them down below and I'll answer if I can. Just let me know if you enjoyed this video. Make sure that you subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel. Hit that little bell so you're always notified when I have a video. And make sure you give this a thumbs up. That is the biggest compliment, when somebody gives a thumbs up to my video. Yeah, it encourages me to make more. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you think of anybody who would like to know how to make bone broth, go ahead and share my video. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.